look good.
Thank
Jim.
you. You too, Dale.
Yes, we started. All right. Episode 4, Two Guys, One Coup. Woo, fourth one. Viewership is growing I'm just growing.
By the twos.
by the twos. Yeah, I mean, it's growing by, hey, growth is growth. Anyway, so episode 4, appreciate everybody who's kind of watched the first 3 and hope you continue to watch and listen. I'll start off by just giving us ways you can reach us. Of course, we have a Gmail account, which is at 2guys1coup@gmail.com. You can reach us on our Facebook page, 2guys1coup, and now on Twitter at 2guys1coup. So give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Probably at this point know what the show's about, so I don't really have to get into that. We just talk about a bunch of stuff, mainly political, sports, and it doesn't even matter. It could be anything. Last week, if you missed the show, it was top 5 movie or sorry, top 5 bands. Mm-hmm. In which Jim had almost no bands.
My award-winning bands.
It was Jim had this week is top 5 Christmas movies, and I don't even know if yours are going to be movies because your bands weren't really bands. So yours are probably
trust me, some of the top 65 of what some of these places call Christmas movies. If what they're calling a Christmas movie is a Christmas movie, then by God, my movies are Christmas movies. Because I'm like, what? Really?
I'd love to hear some examples of those after we're done. Yeah.
But, reaching out to everybody, because I know we did get from a listener, friend of mine, very close friend of mine, sent in her top 5 Christmas movies. So we will read them.
Which we will review.
We will read them. Yeah. So, and even go back. I mean, even for those of you who, if you see us, because, a lot of our listeners, you see us, text us and all that stuff or whatever, but tell us your top 5. We'll just go over it.
Sure.
And, because we want to do that because we know this is, we know there's always going to be differences. We know, but that's what's fun about it. Like, and I've got, the feedback on our top 5 bands was pretty good because they loved your reaction to my bands. They just loved it. When I first said New Edition, you're just like, it was like a 5-second pause and you're like, what?
I couldn't, it didn't register. I'm like, New Edition, is that like a song from this band that I don't know? Or that was the name of the band. Yeah. That was it. That was the band.
So it was,
and then of course, you told me all their names,
Ronnie,
which was
Bobby, Ricky and Mike. If I like who cares? You're like, cool it now.
I love it. I love the way you sing. What's your cup say? What's
Western
on your cup?
Governor University.
Where is that?
It was started in Utah.
Where is that?
It's now Indiana. It's each one. It's like it's a governor's university. Like each state can bring it in, and Indiana has it.
Yeah.
I think I was the 2nd or 3rd graduating class of WGU of Indiana. So.
Western,
it's all online. It's for working people who don't really have it. And plus, it's also what I like about it is here's a plug. So if they're listening, we'll take sponsorship money. But it's
from a Western governor's university.
It takes your your work history. You learn as you work. And as we get older, we learn. So there's classes you can actually test out of. You don't have to take it for the full 6 or 8 weeks. You can take it for 1 week and take a test and pass it.
Were you able to test out of classes?
Yeah. There's quite a few of them I was able to test out on. There was a couple that were harder than heck because the business.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, for our life experience, like, what class would you be able to test out of that related to whatever your life experience?
Like whatever my degree was. For instance, my degree is sales and sales marketing, and so it's a bachelor's. It took my previous. I had an associate's. And so it took those credits and applied it. But it's like math.
Okay.
Math. You can test out of math. You can test out of some English classes. You can, there's like.
So some of the prereq courses.
Oh, yeah. Just kind of prereq. Yeah. Because the sales and the business classes took a little longer because the last one I had to do, man, you had to create basically a company from the beginning, and you had to. Here's the accounting portion of it here. You just have to put everything that you learned into it and present this. And man, that was tough. That was a difficult one. But so anybody that sits there and says online courses are easier, no, they're not. So
yeah, I would say no. I've taken online
but
courses.
I will say this though.
I would say they're not easier.
It's not for you. You have to be able to not need a teacher standing up there and showing you how to do it, because
discipline.
You
need to be a little bit more disciplined.
You have what you can connect with the teacher of that particular subject. Okay, there is somebody out there you can contact if you have a question, but they're not standing up there and they're not talking about what you read. This is all on your own. So now that was better for me. It worked for me, but it doesn't work for others. So anyway,
well,
that's our plug. So
it's had to work.
WGU.
It's had to work for many others because of the China virus. A lot of online courses from
what happened
elementary school up to college.
Omicron was supposed to be okay. It wasn't as serious as we thought. Now it's mutating with what the Delta Beta Kappa.
Right. Now it's coming.
The Tri Beta Kappa.
Yes, Tri Beta Kappa virus.
And so, are we going to find out after Christmas that? Oh, okay. Well, it's not as bad as what we thought it was. I mean, I get it. That some hospitals in some areas, the hospitalizations are up with COVID. They're positive.
Why though?
But here's my question to you, and we can get on with our topics as we go. But my question to you is: your NFL football team had to have their game moved to tonight because of just an second most cases of COVID behind the Rams, right? So,
that's right.
But most of these players were vaccinated and had the booster.
95%,
and they still have to sit out.
NFL is vaccinated,
and they still have to sit out. I just.
Yeah. Because it's and then so how much longer do we got to hear this bullshit about it being the virus of the unvaccinated? That it's bullshit.
Yeah.
There's more people vaccinated in this country and more every day, and the vaccinated are getting it. And so you can't keep throwing this crap out.
Now here.
Don't tell me something, and then I see something, and then you want me to say, don't believe what you're seeing. Listen to this guy, tell you that.
And here's the scenario.
Got to get vaccinated.
Here's the scenario I'll throw out for you. Okay, Super Bowl, Chiefs against the Buccaneers.
Okay,
Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady test positive for COVID. Do you think? Do you think they're going to have to sit out? No. They are not going to.
For one, they will play, and they won't postpone that game because there's too much. There's too much invested on that. Yeah. They'll never. I'm telling you, what they won't even do. They won't even test those teams, and that's the thing. They didn't test.
They do have new protocols that came out yesterday. So
I know that now, thanks to the players' union, which I'm not always for.
And thank God because somebody's got to start saying, come on, enough's enough. I mean,
enough.
Enough. Yeah, I get it. If you want to have a rule where if the player's not vaccinated, okay, and then they get a test positive for COVID, if you want to make them sit out for 2 weeks and 2 games and have to have 20 negative tests afterwards, it doesn't matter. That's fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But how many times are we constantly being told, get vaccinated, get vaccinated? Oh, now this booster's going to help.
Every freaking minute of
now
every
this
day.
Booster's going to help. So it's like, well, okay, what's the point of all this? And stuff. And I'm not trying to downplay the seriousness of because individuals have been affected by COVID. I get it, but
it's not that at all.
But it's just the stories, and it's
it's the inconsistencies of it.
Yeah.
We're now on. I think 2 years to slow the spread. Is that what we're on now?
Yeah, but don't you think
when is that shit? There's going to be a variant every freaking year,
just like
one or
flu,
two of them every year.
It's not always the same shot every year, is it?
Yeah, so, it's not the same shot. And Dr. Fauci, is saying,
Bleep.
Hey, you're gonna what?
Bleep.
I don't even care. Not safe for work, not for children under the age of 18. This is rated R.
Well, you got to think about it, though. The administration needs to keep this around because they have to have an excuse for this, for what's going on.
So does Big Pharma.
Yeah, they have to have an excuse for why our economy is tanking, inflation's going through the roof, and all of this other stuff. I mean, they have to have an excuse, so they got to keep it around. They have to.
But nobody's believing it. Nobody believes it. There's nobody that believes that.
Thank God we're starting to see that, it's people are saying, they recommend not getting together for Christmas again this year. We got together last year.
I know. Don't get together for Christmas. Go ahead and fill up the stadiums. That's fine. But don't get together for. I mean, that's what I'm saying. And not that I want football canceled or basketball or any of that crap. Right? I think it's bullshit to begin with. But, don't be having Dr. Fauci sit there telling me, I don't even call him Dr. Fauci. What, I mean, I got to think of a better.
How do you have relations with your spouse 6 feet apart?
Well, I can't, but
I can tell you that.
I mean, some of us can. I mean, you just got to,
with a mask.
That's who we are.
With a mask. With a mask.
So, my cup is still from China, by the way. And we are super close to Christmas. And yet, your gift hasn't arrived yet for me.
Your gift is me.
You got mine, right?
You get to see me you get to see me like this once a week.
Oh, that's everybody's gift. Yeah. Everybody.
Well, I think it is. I think all of our, I can't believe our listening hasn't gone up like to millions yet, and I just still get it.
Well, it's getting close. It's getting close. I mean, the popularity.
Remember, we want CNN viewership. We want to beat them. And then we want to pass MSNBC. That's our goal.
It's a very low goal.
Yeah, very low goal. Yeah.
It's our goal.
We need are 10 more people.
That's it. 10 more. There's 10 more to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then by the way, that's where you see this is on YouTube.
Yep.
You can find us under 2 Guys, 1 Coup. There, that's where you can. That's probably something we should mention.
Yeah, and I know.
So currently we're on YouTube until we get kicked off YouTube. But who knows?
My kids and niece are always telling me, "Well, if you really want to go on this and this and this site, and I'm like, I'm an old dude. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know how.
I guess we got to figure out all these different podcast sites to go out to. I don't know.
In search of producer.
Yeah. Well, my daughter
hiring.
My daughter said she would do it, but we can't afford her. So.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Now hiring, volunteer producer.
Yeah, for now.
For now, volunteer producer. Anyways, I guess we can kind of get into the show. Yeah. Again, we're going to do a top 5 Christmas movie list, which I'm assuming, based on your band list, that one of your Christmas movies is going to be like Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Or something.
Well, if there was a
great
Christmas
movie.
theme.
I mean, I'm sure they celebrated it somewhere in the movie. I can't remember.
Well,
but
you got see, Harry Potter is not in my. Yeah. Harry Potter is not in my top 5, but there was a couple of them that was during Christmas. So.
That surprises me.
I know there was other people that surprised me.
I would never know that.
I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I'll wear my Gryffindor robe one time.
Nobody even knows what that means.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of people out there that would know what that means.
Are there?
Yeah.
Those people also are probably virgins. So I'm just saying. That's.
Oh my gosh.
At any rate, I guess we can start with the show.
Yeah.
A couple little topics I want to. It's been a little bit, and the show. It's been a little bit ago, but obviously the carnage in Kentucky, the tornadoes. Praying for everybody there. I mean, Biden went down to visit.
Oh, he did.
Thank God. Now, yeah. Oh, yeah. You went there. Yeah. Yeah, you went there. Why he sent his goofy wife to Waukesha, I think. I think she actually went, but
so they're giving into the pressure. I didn't see, so they have to be pressured in order to do something. Yeah. So, but when President Trump went to visit these places without being told,
yeah, because it's the right thing to do. That's what any good American president would do. But to get Sleepy Joe, away from his basement or wherever he's at all the time is pretty much a act of God.
Yeah, but we got to make sure he's
fully medicated.
We need to pray for the people of Kentucky and all the states that were affected by this. It's horrible.
Absolutely.
And, as we've been talking, let's not politicize this. I mean, we're going to get all these climate change people coming out saying this, saying that, and it's not the time to politicize it. We just need to pray for them. It's a very difficult time because we're coming on Christmas.
It's hard to not politicize. It's hard not to respond politically to an event like that when you have the opposing party, the Democrats, politicizing it right from the beginning with Eric Swalwell bitching about Rand Paul not giving relief money for disasters in his state. It just runs the gamut,
Yep.
and so it's hard to not respond to those people when that's all they want to do is politicize it. They would say, oh, let's pray for the people of Kentucky. And by the way, your senator, has voted against, funding for disaster relief, which is bullshit, not true. We know what he voted for. We know what his intent was. It wasn't to not help people of his own state. So,
and how many times have we been told that when somebody says however or but or by the way, anything they said before that it
doesn't
goes
matter.
away. Yeah. So
it's like me, like Jim, I like you, but
or Joe Biden has been a wonderful president, but he's horrible.
Yeah.
AOC is
but he hasn't done that.
AOC is the most intelligent woman on the planet, but she's not. So anyway,
yeah. I mean, that whole thing is, that's
so we need to pray for
that's what it is.
Pray for the victims of all that, and that's
help if you can.
Yeah,
I mean, I
donate,
know it's
donate money. There's numbers to call. You have local media, radio stations, television stations are all saying just call. I mean, give what you can.
Go for.
Yeah, give what you can.
I know it's tough. It's Christmas, but those people
because more than likely those places, those sites, all that money goes to the help. All that money.
I would say
if you donate,
that's the important part.
Keep in mind, if you donate money to the Red Cross, you donate money to. I give blood to the Red Cross, but donate money to Salvation Army or all these places like that. Remember, not necessarily all that money goes to it, but they are good causes.
Absolutely.
They are, they do things, but to make sure the full money goes, which is what Rand Paul was trying to do in these bills.
Exactly.
That, he's being accused of, he don't want to help. No, he wants to help, but he doesn't want to take $1 billion bill and only 500 million of it is going towards helping. The rest of it's going towards these Democrat funded parties of arts and recreation, or like you talked about a couple weeks ago, we have to save the hippos from coronavirus. So we need to.
Oh, that's right.
So we need to give money to that. So whatever their causes are today,
they need our help. They need our help.
Alec Baldwin's criminal justice fund. I don't know. So.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, a poor fella. I feel terrible for him. I feel terrible.
I hope he goes down, but he won't.
Well, he won't.
Yeah, but
he won't. I mean, what happened? When's the? Have we heard the verdict on the Jussie Smollett? I know he's found guilty.
Yes, we have. I think 5 of the 6 counts or something. He was found
5
guilty.
5 of the 6. We know that.
He was found guilty.
Has there been any sentencing or punishment?
That I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. How long does that take? Don't they usually do it like right away?
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Like,
I guess we should have done our homework. Public. I
mean, just at some point, I just don't give a shit about the story. That's my thing. I'm like,
we just felt we had to talk.
I hate to even give it credence because you bring up his name.
Well, you just wanted to bring it up because of the gay bathhouses. That's why you.
Well, I mean, I wanted to know if you've experienced any cocaine in them this past week since we've spoken last. I mean, you're losing weight a little bit, which is a clear sign of cocaine usage. And, I'm clearly gaining weight, so I'm off the table. I'm not, it's no cocaine here. It's more probably marijuana, right? Yeah. That's what mine would look like, but you look like you're losing weight. So I'm thinking it's probably a combination of both cocaine and gay bathhouses. Tell me I'm not right.
What's your topic for the week that you want to talk about?
I like to talk about Jim and the gay bathhouses. You don't want to, but you don't want to talk about that.
No, not really. I have never been to one.
It's close to Christmas. I'm going to try to.
Never been to one.
You've never been to one?
Never been to one.
I mean, I'm surprised. Your town, I think, is chock full of them, I believe. So, what do I want to talk about? I mean, let's get into COVID again. I mean, we've started talking about Dr. Fakey and his COVID stuff.
And his boss that recently resigned.
Yeah, who was his boss? I don't even know the name, do I?
Saw it. I don't care. I'm so tired of it.
I love the fact that, he basically is running the country at this point.
It's sad.
He basically is. He's running the country. And now airlines are saying that or he's saying that he believes airlines, you'll always have to wear a mask on airlines.
Was it Southwest Airlines where the CEO said he's
Yeah,
not
the
going to, because
CEO.
they had their filtration system is so good that it recycles
Correct.
every so
And then he
often.
came down with
And then
COVID.
he has hopefully it wasn't on one of his flights, you know.
But who isn't coming down with COVID? I mean, honestly, who is not coming down with COVID? Everybody's getting it. You know, why? Because everybody has it, probably. You got a variation of it. So at some point, you know, I have a sinus infection. You had one a couple of weeks ago. You know, it was probably, you know, some sort of variant of COVID. It just didn't test out that way. And, you know, mine might test out as I got COVID, but all I have is like a couple of aches and some sinus stuff going on.
15 straight days.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah. It was 15 straight days with a headache.
15 straight days with a headache.
Mm-hmm.
Like all day. Woke up, headache, went to bed, headache.
Yep. Some parts of the day worse than others, but it was there. And
took ibuprofen, took all that stuff, nothing helped.
Hey, good news is they did a CT scan and I have a brain. So if you ever wondered that, I do. So, but
show the scan.
Didn't show anything.
Who's your doctor? There's no way.
Yeah, the scan. Yeah. Well, if I can get it, I'll show you. But and it wasn't COVID. So I don't know.
Which was good. And I'm glad. But
no, it's frustrating though. I mean, it is good. It is good, but it is frustrating when you have that and you know you got something going on like that, and then there's no reasoning for it. I have no idea.
So they had no reason why you have it. So
no idea. They did help my
underlying tumor.
They upped my body. They updated my blood pressure medication. So I don't know. I just need to get in better shape. I think I just need to get in better shape. And
is that why that's happened? Well, you look like you're getting in better shape. I mean, are you trying to? I mean, you're trying to do something.
Got my treadmill all set up. It's ready to go.
Your man boobs look smaller. Maybe it's just a shirt.
I got those compression bras. It's pushing it.
You got hold your moobs in.
That's right.
Hold those moobs in. I like it.
Yeah, COVID is always going to be in the news. It always is.
Oh, it's never going to go. There's going to be a variant. It's always going to be around. You're never going to hear about it. Your good friend and you're one of your favorite senators, Elizabeth Warren, tested positive.
Love her. I've got my Warren for
great.
President 2024.
Do you?
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, she's wonderful. Pocahontas, or the fake Indian. I mean, she's fully vaccinated and boosted, and said that she got COVID in a breakthrough case. I don't even know what that means.
Well, because she wants to be.
What does that mean?
You know, because when I was in one of our great hospitals here in the city that I live in, they came up to me and said, "You get it?" And I told them I had both vaccinations and the booster. And the nurse told me at the time that I was in there, said that, well, if you have COVID, that you would have been the first one that they had the booster that then got positive, as far as with this particular hospital that I was at. So now that's what this nurse said. That's what the physician's assistant that saw me that day too said too. So, but I got to tell you, because you hear everything, you hear all this stuff about the emergency rooms and everything like that. And I don't know if I can say the hospital, but the hospital that I was in, the nurses, the staff, you can tell they were overworked. You can tell they were running around all over heck. But I had a really good experience there. And they were attentive to me. They kept apologizing to me, because maybe they weren't, they say, hey, we'll be back in 10 minutes. And it ended up being 20, 30 minutes. Did
you go to the emergency room? Like ER?
Yes,
is that what you went to? Like an ER?
Yeah. So, and it was, did
you go to your doctor first?
Yes.
Or did you just go to the ER?
I went to the doctor first, and then I had a little pain back here. I don't want to go over my health stuff, but I had a little pain back here that wouldn't go away. And so that's why they sent me over there, just to make sure there was nothing else, because it hurt. I mean, it wasn't like a headache. Yeah. It hurt. I couldn't, if I pressed on it, it just hurt. So, and maybe it's my head's finally forming, and finally, when you're a baby, it's soft. Maybe my head finally. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah,
but I have a brain. That's all that matters. So all of you individuals out there,
true. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Now, whether or not it's fully functioning is beside the point. But I have a brain, so.
Well, I mean, it's functioning is probably as good as it's ever going to be.
Yeah,
it's only going to go downhill from here. So, I don't want to break that news to you, but I didn't want you to hear it.
It's going downhill.
Yeah, you're closer to death than you were birth. That's all I know.
But like we said, the Democrats have to have COVID out there for the next election, so we could do all these weird
and another variant.
Because right now, I think in the House, everybody needs to pay attention to this because I think there's a bill they want to start at this federal voting. And
what? Oh, it's like mail-in shit.
Yeah, it's state laws, folks. States set up the voting laws, not the federal government.
Not federal. That cannot pass.
I don't think it will.
I don't think it would ever.
I'll be honest with you that it's one of those that they will definitely put in front before the midterms.
Yeah,
because there's. I mean, it looks like it could be a total whitewash in both houses, and it looks like the Republicans.
It does. I mean, they're talking. I've heard anywhere from 40 to 70 seats in the House,
and a lot of those are retirement. Because a few years ago. Remember when all of our Republicans...
Well, you got to replace them. I mean, it's not like they go away.
But it's
retirement.
They're retiring because they know they're going to lose, and they want to go out with what their highest pay is because of their nice little retirement package that they voted in for themselves. That once they leave office,
incredible.
Once they, I can't remember the full time, but if you win 2 elections or whatever your senator, when you retire. At your seat, that's what you get for your retirement. So it's insane. And you get health care.
Anyway. Health care.
Yep.
You
get your not Obamacare, folks.
Nope. No. It's not that.
So, but it's they got to do this stuff. They got to keep it out there because, they need try to get every advantage they can get. But in the meantime, they're destroying the economy. They're destroying our country.
Well, of course they are.
Yeah,
that's what they do. That's what they do.
Because this COVID thing I mean, look at the Build Back Better bill. How much money was going towards COVID? I mean, it's
Build Back Better bill, which is now, thankfully, I believe, dead
for now.
For
Pelosi and Schumer
now.
have already said they're going to come back after the first of the year, and they're going to. But
I get that.
Look, Manchin did say he did like. What I didn't like about what he said, but he did say that, some of the tax increases that were going to be given, he agreed with.
Mm-hmm.
It was just other stuff in it. Right now, the worst thing
he's a Democrat at heart, so of course he
the worst thing you could do right now with the inflation the way it is, with the economy the way it is raise taxes. That is the absolute worst thing.
It's the dumbest thing you can do. It's the dumbest thing you can do. And another thing I would like to bring up is stop building. I'll give you an example. And my wife kind of brought this up to me was, in the area and where we live, Publix is a big grocery store down here. Yeah. So you might be familiar with it.
Yeah, there are other states as well.
It's a big chain, just like Kroger, just like all the, but anyways. So we have a Publix locally close to us. About a mile from there, they're building another one. Yet I'm at Publix just yesterday. And the deli worker is telling me that 6 employees called off. She can't keep employees. She cannot get employees to come there. She was dragging people from other departments. She was apologetic for how slow and long it was taking. I understand. You can't find people. Mm-hmm. So why build another one? Where are you going to get the people for that? People aren't working. They're not wanting to work, And so that's kind of this whole... I don't know how I led into that other than the fact that, enough shit already. I mean, the inflation, everything else, people can't work. People don't want to work. Not that they can't work. They don't want to work.
The Build Back Better
jobs are there.
Yeah. The Build Back Better bill was actually, there's a couple congressmen and senators, representative of, I believe it's Byron Donalds, said that it's going to hurt small businesses because
of course it is.
We're having troubles getting people to work now. And so this Build Back Better bill is going to encourage people to stay home more. And that's the last thing we need right now. We, again, we bring this up under President Trump, we were trying to get people working. Well, it's because of the tax cuts.
And they were working.
It's because of the tax cuts, but we were trying to get people in this 5% unemployment. We were cutting into the 5% to where it was going to 3% unemployment. We were cutting into that. And companies were losing people because other companies, because of competition, caused raises and salaries to go up. And which, by the way, is how it should be done. Competition should force not government shouldn't say, well, you got to go with $18 an hour. Okay. With the economy the way it is, not going to work. So
perfect. Perfect.
But
Makes sense.
But anyway, but that was a whole different scenario, right? Because now we can't get people to work because they want to stay home. They don't want to go out and work. They're not encouraged.
Well, they're incentive. There's incentive to do that. So
and I'm telling you, if you can make as much money to stay home as you can of going out and getting a job,
why would you go out?
I would like to think you would go out for your own personal
self-pride.
I wish we had some pride here, but it's not. It's terrible.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
Everywhere you look.
That's the thing.
Everywhere
you look. And it was not that way. We all know it. We all live through it. Any liberal out there that wants to argue with me to the fact that things are better now than they were, even the first year of Donald Trump's presidency, bring it on. Give me the facts. Show me what you're talking about. Because it's not. Things are worse. They're not getting better. This whole COVID thing, there's going to be variant after variant after variant. It's never going to stop.
At all.
It's really at all. It's never going to stop. So, CNN is closing some offices because of it. Yeah. That's good news, I would say. There's good news out of COVID.
Yeah, because there's just it's.
Well, they're not closing them permanently though, Jim. They're just letting their employees work from home. Which they're losing employees anyway. So
but I do know that you're going to see a lot of companies that are able to do that, where because of this.
Well, we know
the technology the way it is, you're going to start having, which is one of the reasons why New York City is going to be taking a huge hit here pretty soon, because companies are realizing that you can move your headquarters to a city like Fort Wayne, Indiana, and have your headquarters there. It all be through technology based, you don't have to have it. So you get away from the high rent in New York.
That's right.
Come to the less expensive. Right. In cities like Fort Wayne, that don't have liberals running.
Sure.
Even though we do have a liberal mayor running here, but overall, this city we've done pretty well. So
you have a liberal mayor running, or just he is a liberal?
We've had
Democrat.
We've had Democrat mayors, for last 16, 20 years probably. Now our city council is usually conservative, Republican. Well, I shouldn't say.
Now I know up in my hometown of sort of hometown of Cleveland, Ohio, they had a Democrat mayor. Well, they've had Democrat mayors forever, but the last one, Frank Jackson, I think was his name. Maybe somebody can tell me. I'm removed from that area, so I don't really know. But it appeared he did a really, really good job with the city and was, and that's what I'm saying. I don't care if you're Democrat or you're Republican, just do what's right. Do what's right for the people of your city, your local government, people for your state, if you're a governor, and damn it, for the country, if you're president. And
our state,
that old timer that's president now is not doing what's right for this country.
And I'll tell you,
prove me wrong.
Fort Wayne has done. It's just like downtown Fort Wayne now. There's so many nice restaurants to go down and see. There's so many things to do downtown, and it's nice. One of the better minor league baseball parks in the country is there, and it's just nice. And you got to give credit where credit is due. And we will always do that, whether you're Republican or Democrat. If you keep my taxes low, and you want to put some of your social, your liberal social views in place, as long as it doesn't affect, people's rights. Okay, which doesn't always happen very often, because usually you want to hurt somebody else's rights and most of the way they do things. But no, I really like what they've done. So anyway.
Well, moving on. You got a story you want to get to? Right?
I was just happened to be looking through this, and I thought this was interesting. Jefferson County judge in Alabama, Nikita Blockton, and she was...
That's the judge's name?
Yeah, she has been removed from the bench.
Okay.
And one of the things that she did is she engaged in a pattern of practice of making inappropriate comments. For example, calling one judge Uncle Tom and another judge a fat bastard is what I think is, because they bleated it out. They got B and then boom, boom, boom. So, or a fat bitch maybe is my bet. Yeah. And then she also called one of her employees a heifer. Now, this is from a commission that was kind of against complaints filed against this judge. Now, if anybody understands when somebody is referred to as an Uncle Tom, it is an African American who is referred to as white and all that. So that was a racist comment because Nikita Blockton is black herself. Okay.
Yeah.
So this woman is not only abused her employees, she would actually get this. She ordered employees to allow her to see their private cell phone and provide their private login credentials on work computers in an effort to delete material relevant to the investigation into her conduct. She also made her employees work unreasonable hours, including excessive, unproductive, and unnecessary late nights. And my biggest,
that's relative.
And some of the ones that she talked about too is that she has, let's see, there was a couple of them that involved, basically in a nutshell, this woman used her powers. And if there was anybody who went against let's say a Democrat politician, there was threats that was made. She would create fake Facebook accounts or fake accounts.
Wow.
And she would she was a judge, and she would threaten people going against anyone who disagreed with anything she believed politically or anything like that, which is what a judge should do. You know, a judge should never rule on what the law is. I mean, come on.
No. It's all personal bias.
All personal bias towards what they think is right from wrong.
I can't believe she got removed, actually. You know,
they had no choice. To be honest with you, when the Uncle Tom, often. I think the Uncle Tom cabin, and then finding out that she was making threats and doing all this stuff, you don't want to judge. You don't want to judge like that. You just don't. And,
well, of course you don't.
My favorite one that I did, folks, is I looked out at the same time I went out to CNN and MSNBC, and I searched her name in those. No stories came up. That's really what I wanted to point out on all of that.
That's the point of it all.
So what happens if this judge was
research too?
What happens if this judge was, say, a judge similar to a Kavanaugh?
Oh God!
It would have been the lead story. And again,
or any Republican appointed or Republican judge, it would have been a lead story.
MSNBC can't get off the Trump. Every freaking day, there's 4 or 5 stories about Donald Trump. And it's like he is in their head. It's like, come on, folks. There's more things going on out here. You know, we've got, we still have supply chain issues. We,
inflation rates. It's incredible what's going on out there, and then for them to not even.
But I just thought that was interesting that story about this judge, and CNN and MSNBC had nothing about it. So,
I saw, and I should have again. Why do I feel like I have stories here, but I keep talking about things I did no research on, other than things I've I've heard. Because it leads into something like that. But talking about Donald Trump and all that, I saw on Morning Joe, of all places, Joe Scarborough.
The guy that used to be a Republican in Florida?
Used to be, until he what? Did he kill somebody or did he just...
I have no idea what happened. I remember,
I don't know what the whole story was.
All I know is in the 2000 election, he was out there just yelling and screaming at Democrats, saying you are not following the laws, the voting laws at the time. Stop doing it. Stop. And then all of a sudden he goes on MSNBC and he's another Bernie Sanders type guy.
Started banging that lesbian girl. That's which is fine. I mean, it's just
nothing wrong
whatever.
with that.
I don't know.
I mean, hell, bang whoever you want.
Even care about yeah, whichever you want. But she looked kind of, I don't know. She's just, and I didn't mean that way, like lesbian girl. I meant that she's just a flaming bitch. But anyways. So, but on the show they had
Dale is not saying all lesbians are bitches, by the way.
Oh no, I'm not. Did it come across that way? Because I didn't. I mean, listen, I think I told you last time I was not in a great mood. I don't know why. I've been in a bitter mood lately. I don't know if it's stress because of the holidays or just because
it is different. I mean, there's a whole different feel to things now. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, I thought last year there was a different feel, and then I was like, okay, well, let's just get this year over with. We'll get to 2021, and now 2021 has flown by. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it literally, I can't even believe it.
It has.
But what's 2022 going to bring? I mean, it's just more crap, and it's like, when's it gonna When's it going to end? I mean, maybe it ends after the midterms in 2022. Maybe it ends if we get the White House back. I don't know.
See, personally, I don't think
in 2024, but shit.
I don't think it is going to end until we win the House. We win the White House back in 2024, because you're still going to have a president that will veto every bill. Because even if the Republicans want to reverse, if they win, if they want to reverse everything that has happened, they're not going to be able to, because he'll veto it. So,
well, no, of course not. Of course not. So,
but at least we can hold any other. That's why they're doing all this stuff. They're forcing all this stuff down our throat now, because they know in 2020, after the election of 2022, they're done. They won't be able to do this.
That's true.
This is why they're doing
absolutely true. True. But anyways, on that morning, Joe, I had, and I'll research it and I'll have more information. But they were talking to a couple gentlemen. I don't even know who they were. Talking about how Donald Trump predicted 9/11 in a book a year before 9/11. He had talked about Osama bin Laden, about about terrorist attacks. It's going to make the next attack will make, at the time, the 93 World Trade Center attacks, basically look like child's play. I mean, it was weird. And even Scarborough was like, he really said, he's like, yeah, he knows things, he knew, he's not stupid. Donald Trump was not stupid. No. And it's just like when he claimed that Barack Obama's campaign was spying on him. It's just like, I mean, it proved it was true.
Yep.
This virus came from a lab in China. Proves it's true. I mean, the guy's not stupid. He may not be the most elegant speaker when you're sitting there listening to him, but for God's sakes, the man knows his shit. So, but good job, Democrats. You tweeted out some mean things, and now you got Dementia Joe in there, and that's just what we get. What we get now.
You always sit here and listen. Well, they just didn't like the way Donald Trump was. He treated these people. He was this, and this. But you name me somebody, anybody who has gotten to power, whether you're a politician or whether you're a billionaire. Okay, you've stepped on some people's toes. You have.
I mean, for sure.
Sorry. You've stepped on toes. And so, but like I said, I've always liked Donald Trump. I've always watched his shows. I've always, I just always liked that. And, but I just thought, he wasn't it wasn't the elegant speaker. I mean, because the one thing I will say positive about Barack Obama, the guy was an elegant speaker. He was bullcrap what he was saying, but he was an elegant speaker. He wasn't, he lied every time he opened his mouth, but he was a very good speaker. Donald Trump wasn't like that, because Donald Trump tells you like it is. I mean, he's just going to tell you. And
Donald Trump was a guy who sat in board meetings and board meetings and board meetings and board meetings, sat with bankers and economists and builders and realtors. And I mean, Donald Trump was that guy. He wasn't, I'm going to go out and give a million speeches and, have a bunch of bullshit flying out of my mouth. And so, and it's why, that's why I voted for him. I didn't want that guy. We had that guy for 8 years.
Or if you disagreed with him, he just talked to you. He just argued with you either on Facebook or when he did speeches, and he never sent the IRS after you like Obama did.
That's
He never tried to pass policies to go against you because you spoke, he never did that. Now again, there was times he needed to just be quiet, but that's not him. That's not who he is.
That's not him. So. And that's not, and I didn't vote for him to be quiet.
Exactly.
So
we voted for a whole point of what we want. I'm sorry. You need a businessman right now to figure this out. And
my God,
what has to happen.
I think that was and we did. And I think back, and I try to think back sometimes, where would we be right now if that election was not stolen? Where would we be? Honestly, it's hard to figure, but there's no way, even with COVID, would we still be this way.
Right.
I mean, they keep pushing it. I mean, who knows what variant we'd be on? Probably the 12th one by now if Trump would have won. But anyways, you just look at states around. You look at Texas. You look at Florida, where we live. It's, these states are thriving and the hospitals aren't, we aren't burying people by the minute, so, which is crazy, but the truth of the matter is that here's kind of a story that's not making headlines, and it comes out of South Africa, which is where Omicron first was discovered, that variant, which is weird that it was there, but that they are stopping contact tracing and quarantine of contacts because it's not bad, and they're finding out herd immunity is actually working.
It does.
Of course, usually it does, and it's going to have to. And I don't care if the two, variants collide with each other, because the other 12 coming up are going to collide with each other.
Well, look what happened when COVID first came. I mean, how many months were you could only go to work, stay home, don't go anywhere. And so then when we all got out again, what happened? COVID
numbers
hits,
spike.
The numbers it go nuts.
And, numbers spike.
And it's just like the flu. It's no other.
What's going to happen?
It's no other reason.
My glasses are crooked again, Jim. That doesn't matter, but they are crooked.
Very unprofessional.
Why don't you ever tell me these things?
Very unprofessional.
Why don't you ever tell me these things?
I don't know. But hey, I wanted to bring something up again that I thought was kind of funny.
Can't wait. What is it?
Elon Musk. Basically, he's the owner of Tesla. For all of you who don't know, he's the CEO of Tesla, and occasionally, depending on when you go, he's the world's richest man. Right? He's up and down. All goes on that. So,
Jeff Bezos, I think, is still that guy.
He took to Twitter. Elizabeth Warren made a comment about individuals like him.
Back to Pocahontas.
Elon Musk and people like him need to pay more money. They'd pay taxes, right? Because they don't pay enough taxes.
Correct. Yeah.
He stated in a Twitter on his account that, for those wondering, I will pay over $11 billion in taxes this year.
Crazy.
Now, he is going to pay taxes than the GDPs in Burundi, South Sudan, Somalia, and just shy of Mozambique's projected $13.96 billion in 2021. So now, do you people out there, liberals, which I know you do, you still think he needs to pay more, don't you? $11 billion. This is supposedly going to be the largest ever for an individual's tax return. But he doesn't pay enough. He doesn't pay.
That's
enough.
one man. That's one man.
And so he's going.
One man's business.
I mean, he's throwing this stuff out there. Now, look, there's still going to be people. I mean, is $11 billion going to affect him? Probably not. But when you talk about fair, really? Yeah. And how many people, how many people do we know that don't want to work? That don't want to work?
That
don't pay taxes at all.
That's right.
They don't pay any taxes.
Exactly. And so 11 billion isn't enough. What is enough?
Yeah.
Give me the number that's enough for them.
Well, I think some of these Democrats,
it's never going to be enough.
It would be 90%. All of them should be taxed 90%, which
it would be. And at that point, it still would not be enough for them.
Yeah. And
it still wouldn't.
So that's Elon Musk. So, people like Donald Trump, the Koch brothers, all of these billionaires that support the conservative side are paying this much in taxes. Everybody always wants to go back to the income tax. Well, I pay more income tax than Donald Trump. Well, yeah, because Donald Trump doesn't have income tax.
Yeah,
he doesn't get paid an income. It's capital gains, whatever those type of property taxes, all that stuff. He does pay those.
Yeah,
and I guarantee you, they're a heck of a lot more than me.
Yeah.
And I don't think he needs to pay more. I think we all need to.
I don't think so either.
I think we all need to pay the same percentage. That's what I think we need to pay.
I don't think many people realize that taxes began as a temporary resolution.
Well, why did we fight for our independence? The Boston Tea Party.
Because we were being taxed.
Taxation.
Why did they throw that crap over the wall? In the
taxation
Boston Harbor?
without representation.
Correct.
Now we have taxation with
representation.
So and higher taxes
only in our imaginations, Jim.
And only Democrats believe, and they still believe, throwing money at a problem will fix the problem. They still believe it.
Correct.
Education does it. Education will fix it, but we can't educate them because we can't educate them correctly. And and it's just. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know. But I just thought that was an interesting story. He's paying $11 billion, people.
Well, I think it's even interesting, and it comes from the fake Indian, Elizabeth Warren, who has faked her way into being elected. That was after faking her way into college, claiming she was an American Indian. She's faked her way into business loans. I mean, this crap from her, these people were going to vote for her. They're like, Elizabeth Warren for president. Elizabeth Warren for president.
And how many houses does Elizabeth Warren have?
Shit, who knows? Yeah. I don't know.
I honestly, I bet you she doesn't even pay nearly what she needs to pay, because she probably takes advantage.
We'll never see that.
She probably takes advantage of those tax breaks.
What do you think made that psychotic bitch sit there and say, you know what? I think today I'm just going to tweet about Elon Musk. What goes through? She's got to have advisors, right? Like people that go around are like, why would you pick that fight?
Who the liberal left?
What did you have to gain?
Who do the liberal left hate? The wealthy.
Rich.
They hate them. Now, they can be wealthy. They don't care. That's not the same thing. They hate wealthy people because it goes against everything that they want the American people to believe. You can't succeed in this country. They don't want you to. They don't want you to see you can succeed. Now, not everybody's going to be an Elon Musk. All right, not everybody has the intelligence or the wherewithal to do what he has done. But
correct,
you can be any job. You work a job. You support your family. You don't have to live off the government. Anybody can do that. Yeah. And then if you want to make more money, if you want to do more things, then there's options out there for you. But they have
don't believe
to work
in the entrepreneurial dream. They don't believe in that. They don't believe in
the liberals can't, because then that proves everything that they're trying to do wrong. It proves them wrong.
You can't be sufficient upon your own works, because then you can't rely on the government, which is how they want to get to the socialism that they are. I mean, I don't know if we're bringing down the crowd by talking about all this right now, but I'm just telling you, it's just crazy to me, that she decided she was just going to sit there one day and she's just probably just, drinking her beer, like that fake beer she had with her husband online when she was trying to run for president, and thought, I'm just going to tweet about Elon Musk because that makes a lot of sense today to do that. And they're stupid.
And
they're just stupid.
You remember that gala that AOC went to? And she wore that dress.
Yeah, it was the Met Ball, wasn't it, or something like that?
And the funny thing about that a lot of people don't understand, and for all of you liberal listeners, if we have any out there, this is very important to understand.
We have plenty.
She didn't pay to go there. There was a donor that paid her ticket for her to go to this gala. Do you think that person who paid for the ticket for her to go since it was a benefit, do you think she's paying for any of that? No, she's going to put that on her taxes.
That's right.
And she's not paying.
That's right. As a tax write-off.
So if you, AOC, want to do that and want to fight for the people, you don't allow that anymore.
Correct.
Which we can't, because we have to help these groups, right? These benefits, because that's how they make their money, for donations. Yeah. But don't sit there and wear a dress, tax the rich. When you go to this gala, that's what, $30,000 or whatever. I mean, and then this person who bought that for you isn't going to have to pay any of that because it's a tax write-off at the end of the year. So, stop. Yeah. It's just, she's an idiot, but we all know that.
She's an idiot. I actually thought the dress said, "I'm a bitch, not tax the rich," but okay.
Well, I think it did. But they had to take some things out. So,
yeah. I'm being very mean today.
When we talk about the liberal left, the people like Warren's, Bernie Sanders, AOC, and now Omar.
Super hard.
God, why?
I mean, come on.
Minnesota has no hope. I'm sorry.
Minnesota, I know.
They're
just Might as well make them Canada. Might as well make them Canada,
let them
just
have
like
it.
Michigan.
Let them have it.
Just let them have it. A little bit more CNN news. I think we've all probably at this point heard the story of John Griffin, who is he was a producer who's now been, arrested for soliciting minors to his home he bought, I think in Vermont. I'm not even sure where that home is, in order to, sexually train these minors. So he has been obviously, caught and arrested. But what got me, and the story's out there, and again, his name is John Griffin. He was a producer. He started with Chris Como, oddly enough. I mean, why not? But anyways, he was a senior producer. what gets me about it, and he, paid via Venmo, like paid these women $3,000, $3,500 to bring their daughters to him so he could sexually train them to teach them to be sexually submissive. Disgusting human being. I mean, he's the worst of the worst. But what's interesting is that before he got arrested here a week or two ago, the FBI seized his electronics 18 months ago. 18 months, a year and a half. They seized all of his electronics and equipment. Now, to this idiot's, credit, I mean, he didn't stop. He still kept trying to get women. He still kept soliciting women. That's what psychos and sickos do, is they can't stop doing that stuff.
Yep.
But what the hell took, once again, our great FBI, and I love how, I mean, it's always the case that, it's like, we're not talking about the FBI, the boots on the ground guys, right? And that's most likely true, I would say.
Right.
They don't really have control over what the higher ups are doing, but what the hell are the higher ups doing that took them 18 months to get this sexual predator off the, off the streets, 18 months. I mean, I understand you got to prove a case, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all that shit was in his computer. It's where they found all of it. Case proven to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Case proven. You take that guy and you throw the book at him and you throw him away for life.
They're probably trying to negotiate with him.
They probably were.
The scenes.
They probably were.
But I did hear that he's going to be the next cabinet member of the Biden administration.
Oh, he probably is. He's probably going to be the White House spokesperson, or maybe that'll be Chris Wallace now. Yeah. Now that he's going to CNN's highly anticipated streaming service.
Yeah, they can't get anybody to watch their free stuff. What? Going to pay for it.
Let's pay CNN. Yeah. That was a great move. Thank God he's gone. But anyways, what else you got to talk about on your end? You got any sports news?
Yeah, we can talk a little bit about sports. We can, and I hate to admit this. I really hate it. If anybody knows me, the my least favorite teams in the NFL is the evil, the horrible Pittsburgh Steelers. They should just go away.
Yeah.
But the other one's the Indianapolis Colts. And I know I'm from Indiana,
which is
so
weird
I should support
to me.
them. But
weird to me.
Before they came to town, and this is all selfish because that's, if anybody knows me, I don't like Joe Montana for things that happened many years ago. But anyway, the Bengals were one of the teams in the state. That because we on when it was on CBS
didn't have a pro
or
team,
NBC,
right?
we got to watch the Bengals. That was the team to watch. And Colts come in, and then I'll get to watch it anyway. But but I'll tell you right now, watching that game on Thursday night against the New England Patriots, that is a scary team right now. The way they're playing defense, the way that running attack, Jonathan Taylor's just on fire right now.
I know. You're right.
They may not get it. They're going to win that division. No, they're not. Sorry. You got Tennessee, depending on what Tennessee does.
No, Tennessee lost. Without Derrick Henry.
But the Colts right now, that is a team I would not want to face right now. The defense is playing very well. But the same Kansas City's seems to be hitting their stride now. So it's going to be an interesting AFC because there was some interesting games. And, we talked a little bit about it.
This whole weekend.
John Harbaugh did it again.
Did it again. Went for 2 weeks in a row. Failed on the 2-point attempt instead of kicking the extra point for a tie and taking your chances in overtime. So he did it against Green Bay on the road.
But to go.
No. Green Bay was at home. He did it against. Who did he?
Well, he did against Green Bay the week before. Was it Pittsburgh? Wasn't it? It was Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Pittsburgh on the road.
Yeah.
And so both times, and so now they dropped to the 8th spot in
Cincinnati. Woo!
I don't even know how Cincinnati won that game. I mean, they were outplayed.
The defense.
I don't know how they won.
It's because the Bengals coaching is horrible. It's just absolutely horrible. And we talked about this before. We watch as much as you people out there, especially Indianapolis Colts, as much as you hate Tom Brady. All right, he's the GOAT. Mm-hmm. You can say whatever you want. In my opinion, he's the GOAT. And then you have the Peyton Mannings of the world when he was quarterback for you. Or you have Patrick Mahomes. These teams, when you're ahead with 3 minutes to go in a game and you have the ball, all right, that other team is not getting the ball back. they're not getting the ball back.
Normally they're not,
but not in
Correct.
Cincinnati.
Yep.
We're gonna we're gonna be 3rd and 8, 2-minute warning on our own 38-yard line. 3rd and 8, not 3rd and 29, not 3rd and 50, 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
So Joe Mixon gets hurt, and he's out. So our backup, Perrine, is our backup running back. So on 3rd and 8, we hand off to him, and of course he doesn't get anywhere. It's 4th and 5 then, and we have to punt.
Yeah.
To rely on our defense that we've had to rely on the whole game anyway, right?
Yeah,
now, luckily it worked out. We won, but that's not what winning teams do. Winning teams don't let you. They don't give you another chance.
First down, and
like
keep
I said,
the clock going.
If he would have thrown an incomplete pass, or you got to trust in Joe Burrow. You have to trust in this guy. He is your franchise quarterback, and according to Zach Taylor, he has the ability to be a Hall of Famer. Okay, well that remains to be seen. We got to see a lot more work from him.
Well, of course,
but use him. We've got Boyd, Higgins, Chase. We've got weapons.
Who had 3 yards, one catch, 3 yards yesterday.
Well, he had a completion that got called back for holding, which is typical. But
so does that mean he had 2 completions in 30 yards or 1 completion in 30 yards?
Joe Burrow has 12 touchdown passes of over 30 yards this year. 12.
He has what?
12 touchdowns. The next ones to him are 7. So Cincinnati has the ability to do this. They have the ability to throw.
But they do.
And all the time you watch on different things about, it's not just me. You got his play calling has cost us a lot. The overtime game the week before against San Francisco, we're passing the ball down the field. But once we get into the field goal range, we decide to run it. Now, either Zach Taylor forgot that the other team gets a chance. If you only kick a field goal, the other team gets a chance, right? So he must have forgot. But we were moving. He was passing the ball down. Then we run. And
you're a big advocate of getting rid of that coach.
You know what? I just don't think he's head coach material.
Who would you replace him with? Who's out there?
I know this is going to sound crazy.
A million people?
If Mike Zimmer loses his job from Minnesota, I would love him back in Cincinnati.
Well, I mean that's back to the Jackson days. So you sure that's still viable anymore?
Yeah, I think Jackson days.
Yeah, it wasn't
Marvin Lewis
Jackson. Oh, that's Marvin Lewis days. Yeah,
Hugh Jackson was awesome. Yeah, he was a great
defensive coordinator.
No, offensive coordinator. Hugh Jackson was a great offensive
coordinator.
And he did become the Bengals coach for a little bit. But no, I like Mike Zimmer. I think this defense that we have, these players that we have on defense with these free agents we brought in, I would love to see Mike Zimmer take hold of that defense and just do whatever.
He would.
And Marvin Lewis as well.
You think Minnesota's going to dump him?
No, I think Minnesota's going to. If he doesn't make the playoffs, I think they're going to try to go somewhere else, something different. Yeah, because we all know. Yeah, Belichick failed in Cleveland, right? So coaching sometimes it's just the situation you're in, or it just happens. But I don't think he's already Zach Taylor has 8 wins. 2 more than he has in the previous 2 years combined. So I mean, how can you fire the guy, right? But either that or he has to change the way he does things.
Is he doing the play calling, or does he have an offensive coordinator?
They have an offensive coordinator, but he is heavily into the play calling going on at the games. But anyway, I don't want to talk about my team too much. But they did
they're boring.
A good win. But the NFL is really, really starting to get interesting. Tampa Bay loses 9-0.
I mean, Brady gets shut out.
9-0.
Sorry, what'd you say? 9-0. First time since 2006. I was thinking that last night. I didn't look up the stat, but then I finally heard it, and I was like, when was the last time a Brady quarterback team was shut out completely? Like that has to be never. And well, it turns out it was 2006, which is basically forever.
And they were
ago.
Healthy, right?
So.
He had all of his weapons
they were
out there, right?
He had all his. I mean, I don't.
Well, that's
the Saints defense is not bad.
The Saints defense is.
They're good.
It's their offense that kills them. But
their defense is good.
Yeah,
but to hold them to no points at all was incredible.
And then a shout out to Detroit Lions.
I know that was nice. That's a nice win.
Arizona.
I'm a big Dan Campbell fan. Man. I really do like him as a guy. I hope. I mean, he's a good coach.
And you're going to play to win. That's what you have to do. But leave it to Denver. or I'm sorry, leave it to Detroit to now start winning, and you're not going to get that first pick anymore because there are two defensive linemen that I think in this next upcoming draft are going to be difference makers.
Game changer.
Okay. Changers. Now Detroit's still second.
Well, one of them's going to go to the Jets now.
Well, I thought Detroit picked second now. Or did Jets move up to second? They do.
The Jets moved up to second. Miami beat the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Wow. So, in Detroit, there's still other good players out there, obviously. But, I mean, I would like one of those two defensive linemen because there really is no – I don't think
Jacksonville's going to have the first pick.
Yeah,
right.
And I don't think there's a quarterback. There's not a quarterback in this year's draft that I think is a team's going to say, I'm going to take him in the top 5 because I need a quarterback. That's not going to happen.
No, there'll be some that go in the first round. Yeah, I still think Pickett's going to go in the first round.
Yeah, but I think what's going to happen is if you're a team that wants a quarterback, I think you're going to try to trade back. And then some of those teams that have a quarterback are going to try to trade up. So maybe that might be it.
I think so.
But it's the NFL is they're doing some controversial things in terms of they're really starting to get a hit now. Trey Gowdy mentioned it. There was a story on Fox News that their support of groups that are after or that are against police. They want police defunding. They want all of this stuff. But who does the NFL ask to do security at their games? Yeah. So I think I think the NFL has to look. I get what they got to do. I get it. I understand that completely. But there's also another side to this too. There's police officers that, they're risking their lives every day out there. And so now we want to defund them even more and take away the ability for them to.
I can't believe this is still a thing. Can you believe this is still a thing?
I think what's going on now,
all the smash and grabs going on out there. I mean, you got the San Francisco mayor who's clearly enough of this shit already.
Oh, no, it's not happening. According to AOC, it's just one. No, AOC, one pharmacy in California. Nothing to see here.
A pharmacy. I mean, just one pharmacy. Not all the jewelry stores, not all the grocery stores, crazy. Not the high-end car dealerships. None of that. And that's what I keep. That's my problem, and I guess that's what keeps pissing me off is that they keep telling me one thing, but I clearly with my own eyes see one thing. And it's like, how do you keep forcing that shit? Your point through, but yet on video, it's clear as day what is going on.
Like the mayor of Chicago.
But I guess that's the thing. They don't care, about telling us that because, on the people I'm watching are showing the videos. The people she's talking to that she really is trying to pander to, they're not watching the same shows I'm watching that show that. So they believe her.
And the mayor of Chicago, Gordon Lightfoot,
yes.
She comes out. She blames the businesses. She blames the businesses for not having better security. Yeah. It was just like the Obama administration came out. Now, did you know now that it's the store's fault because they're not they're making too much of a profit?
Who said that?
Psaki, Jan Psaki, and they're talking about all this stuff with the supply chain and all this stuff going out. And they're not paying their employees enough, and they're afraid to cut into their profits.
That's why smash and grab is happening.
No. This is about inflation. This is what I'm trying to lead into is this is what Democrats do. They blame other people for what's going on.
Okay,
it's not their policies. It's not their policies. It's not their defunding the police policy. It's not what the administration is doing in terms of COVID or in terms of the supply chain or in terms of anything like that. It's not their fault. Like I told you before, I kind of like it. Nothing's ever my fault. I kind of like. I'm starting to see that. I know. And so I got to go back and look at many things that happened that I made the mistake in my life. I've got to go back and rethink that. It's not my fault.
It's not your fault.
And I'm going to go back to my parents because I think a lot of it might be their fault.
Well, of course. I mean, we've had mom. It's not your fault.
Love you, mom and dad.
Maybe it is mom's fault.
Love you, mom and dad.
Yeah, it might be their fault. That's true. I mean, when you randomly walked into that, gay bathhouse 7 times, it wasn't your fault.
That was the fault because it wasn't well. I mean, they didn't really advertise it.
You didn't know.
Yeah,
they probably it was probably like you thought it was like a cotton candy factory.
I thought it said birdhouses, so I walked. I walked in there and I was like, "Wow, this is weird."
As an advocate and a connoisseur of
and
sports,
they hand you this lavender bath soap in a towel. It's really, really weird. I mean, it's just uncomfortable.
Really nice. So now you know. Now we know. See, I told you. You said you didn't know, but I could tell you. You know for sure.
No, I don't. But anyway,
what else is going on? Sports wise, I don't really know what I want to talk about.
I will add one more thing. I will add because being an Indiana football fan, we don't have a whole lot to cheer for. College, Indiana College, but
this is going to bore me.
No, it's look. Indiana has moved up now to 18th in 24/7 class rankings for early signing period.
That is pretty good,
and it was because they signed this Omar Cooper Jr., who's a wide receiver, and I think Lawrence, North Indiana, because he wasn't sure what he was going to do. Because he saw how Indiana was playing this. And if you watched Indiana this year, our quarterback play and running back play was not good.
So let me can I ask you this question?
Go ahead.
To be honest with you, with him specifically, what other colleges were recruiting him?
Alabama.
That he left off the table.
Alabama.
No way.
Yes. You look it up. Look him up.
That dude chose Indiana over Alabama.
But yeah, it's locals. It's home. Okay. He starts next year at IU. You think he's playing at Alabama? Do you think?
Agreed.
That's
Agreed.
what. See,
that dude's transferring.
Teams like Indiana, teams like Indiana, and teams like that, they're benefiting from the Ohio States, from the Alabamas, from these schools that, these kids want to play right away. The 4 stars, not the 5 stars. They're
benefiting from the freaking transfer portal.
Okay, but these guys want to play. And at these certain colleges, you don't play. And
remember a time of day where you had to work your way up the food chain, to get your playing time? Remember that?
The transfer portal, I agree with you. I think it's too easy now for kids to leave. But anyway, I'm talking about recruits. I'm talking about this 4-star recruit, wide receiver. You know what? I may not get on the field until my sophomore, junior year at Alabama, but at Indiana, he's on the field next year. And
that's true.
So he saw he saw the other kids that were signing for IU, and he said, "Okay." So the last part of that signing period, he signed. So it's, to me, being an Indiana fan, where we're always 12th in the Big Ten in recruiting class. I mean, 10th or 12th, whatever it is. The fact that we're 18th nationally and we're 4th in the Big Ten, that's a pretty big deal. To me, that's a big deal. I mean,
fourth, you would be behind Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah,
right?
and then in Michigan State, I think we passed them. So, but it's kind of fun. I mean,
that's for early signing period.
Right? Yes, because after the later signing period, when all these other studs who have not signed, Indiana may not be, because Indiana, they don't get the 5 stars.
Yeah, but still, congratulations. I'm not trying
think it's kind of a neat
I bash them because of you.
But
and
then I
only bash them.
I do have a very good friend of mine who is a Notre Dame fan. He always yells at me because I talk bad about Notre Dame. But they're 7th, and I do get, because he said he made the comment. He goes, not bad for a school that has all these requirements and stuff like that, still getting up there to number 7. And I sat there and said, you know what? I can respect something but still hate it.
Exactly.
I respect how the organization of Pittsburgh runs the Steelers. Because they don't like to lose. They will do whatever they can to win, but I hate them.
Yep.
I hate them. I can respect them.
Exactly.
But I can hate them.
I can respect them. Well, exactly.
But Notre Dame, I'm telling you, that coach, the more I listen to him talk, like I said, I'd play for the guy at his next school.
Yeah.
Not at Notre Dame, but at his next school.
Notre Dame. Yeah.
So, but anyway, I have to. And real quick, let's do our talk about soccer. Okay, we're done. Dale, what?
We're done. We're done.
What other things you want to talk about?
I also want to talk about, why don't we just get in our top 5 Christmas movies? Let's just do this.
Now, for all of those out there, we have what we call right now, it's our favorite listener. Because this individual, she's the only one that sent us anything. She sent us an email. And
at two guys one coup at gmail.com, on Facebook, 2 guys 1 coup, at 2 guys 1 coup, and Twitter, So
yeah, send us your top 5. Send us. I mean, after this show is released, send us your top 5 Christmas movies. Send us your top 5 bands. We'll talk about it. If you want us to use your name, we'll use your name. I did not ask her.
Then I won't.
I did not. She is. Her and her husband are very dear friends of my wife and I will not use her name unless she wants me to. But if she turns around and says it,
is that the pronoun that she wanted to be? Was her? Yeah. Is that the? Okay, yeah. That's the. So yeah, I didn't want you to offend anybody.
So she sent her top 5 Christmas movies, and
what are they? Are they Christmas movies?
Yes,
they got to be.
Well, the last 2, I never heard of 2. But
you've never heard of the second one. Okay.
All right. So number 5 is Jack Frost. And
great movie.
And it was not
I love that movie.
It was not on Rotten Tomatoes top 65. However,
no way.
However, it was in Good Housekeeping at number 34. And it was number 50
but
on
didn't make
Esquire.
Rotten Tomatoes.
No, but it was 50 on Esquire.
It was number what on Esquire?
50 on Esquire.
What number? Okay.
Esquire.
Made top 50, Jack Frost.
Number 4 was Polar Express. And from what I saw, I don't know if it was on Rotten Tomatoes, but I did see it. It was number 49 on Good Housekeeping and number 29 on Esquire.
Wow.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is number 3. I'll go
great.
into that.
That's great.
I'll go into those ranks later. That was an awesome movie. But number 2.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Now, this is not a hotel chain, guys. This is actually a movie. Holiday Inn. In 1942, Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire. Never heard of it.
Great cast. I mean, come on. Classic cast.
Rotten Tomatoes had it at number 3. Yeah.
My God.
Good Housekeeping and Esquire.
So who are we to say?
Good Housekeeping and Esquire that wasn't even in their top. Wasn't even on their list.
What?
Yep. So...
Well, okay, so I'm thinking that Good Housekeeping, which is weird that you even found that.
I just typed in.
I mean, what do you?
I typed in top.
Was Better Homes and Gardens not available?
No,
or something,
I typed in on my Google search top Christmas movies of all time, and these were the ones that came up. Well, I wanted to give an idea because Rotten Tomatoes, some people looks at it. I mean, because Nightmare Before Christmas is in there. Silent Night, Deadly Night was in there, and some people may not, So that's why I went with Good Housekeeping Esquire, kind of a little bit of a broad.
Oh, it is kind of a broader aspect. Good job. I'm not making funny. I just wondered. Yeah,
Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire, great legends of
not bad for a silent movie.
And then number one was the original Christmas Carol, the original 1938 version. And she even put down
38.
What impresses me is she goes with Reginald Owen and Gene and Kathleen Lockhart. Yes, those Lockharts. I mean, they're. But it's.
Well, thank God the Lockharts were in it. I mean, that movie would be.
It was
Where's it rank?
Number 44 in Good Housekeeping. Now, A Christmas Carol, the 40 or 50 version of it was in Esquire, but it was not in
which I have seen.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Oh, I think we've all seen that one. We've all seen it, but it's.
I didn't know you could even watch the other one. It was before film, wasn't it? I mean,
I was surprised, but she's always. I mean, she was always adamant about those are her favorite ones, and she and my wife will always text each other about, hey, we're getting ready for the, because they all watch the Hallmark Christmas movies and stuff like that.
Hey, listen, guilty pleasure. I watch them.
And I told my wife you watched them with your wife, and she got mad at me because I watch them.
She did.
As I watch them with her, I make fun of them because I predict what's going to happen. And I really have to stop doing that because she really likes those shows. She really likes those movies.
But she's even got to know what happened.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't like me. She doesn't like me saying because I do it in a way that's kind of making fun of the movie. It's so
well, yeah. I mean, but isn't that the whole point?
Yeah, but she does make fun of
my wife. Do that too. We know exactly when we watch it how this thing's going to end.
And she does make fun of.
Watch this shit.
I mean, she does make fun of my. I love Lord of the Rings and I love Harry Potter, so she makes fun of me. She doesn't watch that stuff. So
yeah, and your little wiener.
That was our favorite listener. That was her top 5 Christmas movies. She's
our number one listener.
If you have,
she's our number one listener.
If anybody has top 5 movies out there, please send them to us.
Jim, how can they get a hold of us?
They can get a hold of us emailing it two guys. That's the number 2 guys, GUYS, the number 1 Coup, COUP at gmail.com. And then on Twitter it's at 2 guys 1 Coup. And then on Facebook. So we all have we have it. Or heck, if you see me walking down the dang street, text. Yeah. And if you have my phone number,
kick me in the nuts and give him your list.
Text me.
You know,
I mean, just give it to. We'll read them. I mean, it's great. I like to see these. I always like these top. You know, the top 10.
I do too, and I like seeing other people's. I want to hear what theirs are and what they don't like. Now, I mean, and really, tell us even what your top 5 bands are or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're happy to hear that.
Yeah,
too.
if you listen to an old show,
we'll review it.
If you listen to an old show down the line or something, just don't. Yeah, because what I really would like is to see the top 5 bands.
Me too.
Our viewers' top 5 bands and listeners, because
because
I guarantee you, if my son gave me his top 5. None of those were on my top 5. So,
well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you, if any other human being on Earth gives their top 5, they would not be your top 5. Anybody who has ears.
Some people out there that
anybody who has ears would not have.
I will say this:
if you've got ears, yours is not.
I thought about match. You. We were watching. You ever watch that Shazam with Jamie Foxx? He hosts it. It's a music, Shazam. It's that can guess them. You play it and it'll tell you what the artist is.
Oh, okay. The app Shazam. You hold it up.
But there's a show. There's a music show on. My daughter loved. Yes, there is. My daughter watched it, and so they had. I think it was like either It was in the title of number ones or classic rock, and it was Tom Sawyer Rush, and I thought about it because as soon as that came on, I'm like, I know what that one is. It's like, well, but I don't consider it classic. I consider it classic crap that can be flushed down the toilet. But
unbelievable.
Well,
and yet that comes from a guy who has it's
not my fault. My
weirdest top 5 band list I've ever heard.
Again, all my top 5 were American. Your number 1, your number 1 was Canada, and they hate us, by the way.
Why do they
Canadians
hate
us? Now, I will say this though: one of my
hate us. I mean, they're from Ontario.
One of my favorite actors is Ryan Reynolds, and he is from Canada. So I guess we got
it. See, there you go.
Anyway,
now when we get in the top 5 actors,
now
that might make your list.
Do you want to give me your Christmas list first, or you want me to give?
I will give you my Christmas list first, and I'm going to tell you, I don't think there's a lot of shockers, not a lot of controversy, maybe 1 or 2, but not really. Maybe the order they're in, but number 5 for me is 2018's The Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell, made for Netflix. I believe that was only made for Netflix. I don't think it was released to theaters or anything like Netflix. That. I think it was strictly a Netflix. Yep. So if you didn't have Netflix, which who doesn't, but if you didn't, get it and watch that movie today. They made a second one, which I have not seen. I've got to admit, I did not watch it this year.
I definitely agree with that. It's not in my top 5, but it is a great movie.
It's a good Christmas movie.
And just to let you know, according to Rotten Tomatoes, it was 60.
Ooh.
And according to Good Housekeeping, it was 22.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So who do you, before we go any further, you think, I think Good Housekeeping or Esquire or any of those probably represents more of the people. Rotten Tomatoes is more of,
they're really out
I think
there.
That's just
but I will
their
say
company.
This.
Like it'd be like you and me ranking.
Esquire had some movies that were quite a bit up there that I was kind of surprised on, like Krampus and stuff. I was kind of, I would have thought that would have been on Rotten Tomatoes, not
I would have too. But and so that's my number 5. My number 4 is 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon.
Very good movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert Duvall, Sissy Spacek, John Voight, Tim McGraw. I mean, it's a pretty good
pretty
cast.
Solid.
And a pretty solid movie. It's a comedy. It's not exactly, a children's movie or anything like that. I'm going to be honest with you. Well, I mean, a lot of mine are, but I mean, it's not really your typical child's movie. But anyway,
you ready?
I'm ready. You got rankings for this too. This is good.
Was number
You're on the ball.
It was number 18 in Good Housekeeping.
It was.
Yes.
See,
and number 49 in Esquire.
It was.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes,
It
though?
wasn't. I don't think
Nowhere
it
to be
was on
found.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good. I mean, at least it's on
Yeah.
there, you know. I mean,
Pretty cool.
I don't think there's anything too obscure
Pretty cool.
right now.
Yeah.
But number 3 will probably come as no surprise to you. The Santa Claus, the original 1994, Tim Allen, Peter Boyle, The Santa Claus.
Fantastic movie.
Great movie. Great movie. Could watch it right now.
And theoretically speaking, if anybody wants to say number 1, 2, and 3 is in their top 5, even though I 3 was really good, I really like 3, but it wasn't as good as 1 and 2. So it was very good. You ready?
But 1 and 2 could be in a top 5, and I would not argue with it. So
Rotten Tomatoes had it at number 46.
Oh, okay.
And Good Housekeeping had it at number 10.
Wow.
And Esquire, number 31.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. So they're on
Very
there.
Good.
I don't know how many Christmas movies have been made. 60 maybe? So maybe they're all going to be.
There's a lot of them because some of them were. I mean, I would never have thought. I would never have thought of Christmas movie. But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So my number 2. And you and I have talked about this.
Did you do?
So therefore,
yeah, okay, number 2. Gotcha.
Yeah, number 3 was the Santa Claus, and so my number 2. So right now I've got the Christmas Chronicles at 5, 4 Christmases at 4. Number 3 was the Santa Claus, and my number 2. And you and I will disagree, but my number 2 is A Christmas Story, 1983 classic. You're gonna shoot your eye out. Amazingly narrated. Fantastically done, nostalgic, kind of reminds everybody of what Christmases probably were back in the 50s. So, real Christmases with real family.
Not a huge fan of it. I did watch it.
I know.
It was okay. I don't hate it. I flat out don't hate it. But I know a lot of other people that, yes, they would agree 100. A lot of people would 100% agree with you. So it just wasn't my thing. But hey, it's great.
I mean, it's not. I get it. I can get why you wouldn't like it, and they overplay the damn thing. I can tell you.
Well, especially on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So,
oh my gosh!
TBS, 24 hours? Yeah. So, the rankings.
Oh, stats. Yes.
Rotten Tomato had it at number 18.
Okay.
And Good Housekeeping and Esquire had it at 3.
Wow.
Pretty solid.
Close.
Pretty solid. Yeah. Yep.
I find myself. Oddly enough, aligning with Good Housekeeping.
Well, Modern Bride, which I read quite a bit. Modern Bride.
Yeah. Jim, what did Playgirl have it at?
That I don't know.
You can just go get your old Playgirl and tell me where.
Would you knock it off? My mom may listen to this sometime.
She's not listening.
Well,
she
might.
doesn't want to see you in person. Why would she want to see you on a recording? Well, anyways, and my number 1 is Will Ferrell, Elf.
Absolutely phenomenal.
My number 1, phenomenal movie. I just love that stinking movie. Great movie, great cast. James Caan, Bob Newhart, Ed Asner,
Tyrion Lannister,
Zoe Deschanel, which was in it, and our little friend Peter Dinklage.
Tyrion Lannister, one of the best characters.
Tyrion Lannister, the imp. One of the best characters ever on TV. That's another episode for us. But, that's awesome. That is my top 5. And so where does Elf? Oh, tell me Elf.
On Rotten Tomatoes, 26. Yeah, I know. Good Housekeeping, 5. Okay. Esquire, 13. I was really surprised about those rankings.
Yeah, especially me too. I mean, the top 5 I get, on Good Housekeeping. That's I understand that. Rotten Tomatoes, man. I mean, I'm like nowhere near their rankings on that, which it doesn't mean that they're wrong or that I'm wrong. It's just, I'm nowhere near it. That's kind of weird, but so that is my top 5.
Very good. Again, very quality. Again, top
I'll just
5.
Review them again. It's 5 was Christmas Chronicles, 4 Christmases, 3 was the Santa Claus, 2 A Christmas Story, 1 Elf, and that is mine.
And
on to yours.
And I strongly encourage anybody out there with Netflix to watch the Christmas Chronicles. It is really worth it.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a good. Kurt Russell is so underrated as an actor to me. I mean, I just don't. The guy is amazing, and if you've seen The Hateful Eight, which I don't know if anybody's seen it,
very good movie.
Very unbelievable performance.
Very good movie. Yes.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, so on to you now, sir.
All right. Well,
I'm sure you have stats for yours as well.
Yes, I do. I have two of them. Two of them that match you, which is a lot better than our bands.
Far better than our bands.
Yeah. My number 5 was a 1988, and I consider classic, an old Saturday Night Live and alum, and Caddyshack. Bill Murray in Scrooged. That's my number 5. Just the cast, Karen Allen. Just, I mean, whatever. It just seems whatever movie she just does very well. To me, not the most beautiful actress ever, but just very solid.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
And you've got all these ghosts of Christmas, past and present.
I know
the whole show itself It was just a great show. So number 5 was Scrooge. Now, Rotten Tomatoes had it at 52.
Okay.
Good Housekeeping had it at 16, and
nice.
Esquire had it at 6. I was kind of surprised about that, but that's pretty cool. So Esquire had it as high as 6.
You fall into Esquire. Maybe you're an Esquire kind of guy. Yeah.
And then my number 4.
Good movie. Great choice.
My number 4 was one that matched your list, and that was Santa Claus.
Yep. Okay.
Dale reviewed that, so I don't need to go over that. But Rotten Tomatoes had it at 46. Well, did I say that? I think I've already read those.
I don't know if we went over that.
Rotten Tomatoes had it at 46.
Maybe we're going to.
Good Housekeeping had it at 10, and Esquire had it at 31. So, pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's kind of that runs the gamut.
Then my number 3 was another one of yours, Elf. Absolutely great movie. I mean, it's one of those that you watch all the time. All these shows
you can watch
on our list, if it's on, we watch, right? It's there.
I can watch it. Immediately turn it on and watch it.
And I already read you those stats on that one. Now, my number 2, which I don't believe it was not on your top 5. It was on our favorite listener list. Number 2 was Christmas Vacation, 1989.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo. And what we like to point out is this was Johnny Galecki as Rusty, and Johnny Galecki, of course, Leonard on Big Bang Theory.
Oh, that's right.
And Juliette Lewis was Audrey, and Juliette Lewis, of course,
she was.
I think Pulp Fiction, maybe not Pulp Fiction. She was with Woody Harrelson in that movie, right? I don't know. I don't watch much of Pulp
You think Pulp Fiction had Woody Harrelson and...
No, it was Bruce Willis. Never mind. Yeah, I'm thinking of, what was that? Anyway, it was... I didn't care much for Pulp Fiction, my bad. So...
What?
Yeah. So...
now we're battling.
The rankings on Christmas Vacation...
Yeah.
Number 59 on Rotten Tomatoes. Crazy. I was surprised about that. But
that's
Good Housekeeping Esquire had it at number 2.
Number 2? Both of them
had it at number 2. So.
And you also had it at number 2.
Yes, I did. Huh. I wonder.
I feel like you cheated a little.
No, this was my list. That's my family. Before I even looked it up.
That's my family.
Yeah, because I made my top. I've already got my top 5 list for the next show.
We haven't talked about that yet.
I know. I'm not saying anything.
Hold up.
Now,
spill the beans there.
So, in reviews, Scrooge number 5, Santa Claus 4, Elf 3, Christmas Vacation 2. My number 1, and here's where the controversy begins. My number 1,
in a way,
the 1988 Christmas classic, Die Hard. And I don't care. That was a Christmas movie, because if you look at what is a Christmas movie? What is a Christmas movie?
Well, first of all, a Christmas movie, I think, should involve the word Christmas.
No,
somewhere
not necessarily true.
In the movie, somewhere.
The Santa Claus? I mean, that could be a summer thing.
They don't say Christmas in that movie anywhere. Do they say Christmas in Die Hard?
Yes, because it's a Christmas party that they're having in Nakatomi Plaza.
But it's not a Christmas party.
It is too. They don't celebrate Christmas.
No. You perceive it as a Christmas party.
There's a damn Christmas tree in the corner.
Party. It is a holiday party because they're in Japan. Christmas, am I wrong?
There's Christmas. They're not in Japan. It's in a
great movie.
Japan owns the company. It's in L.A.
Oh, Japan owns the company. Yeah, that's right.
But Christmas music is in it. There's a Santa Claus in it. There's a ho 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 reference.
Yes.
There's a Christmas tree in it. This is a Christmas movie. Don't care what anybody says. So argue.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie, and it made my honorable
Plus,
mention list.
I love the arguing
it's
because this is probably the biggest argument of a Christmas movie ever. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not?
But I bet you it's listed in your rankings, which you're about to probably read.
For Rotten Tomatoes, it is number 11. Very classic.
I don't think Rotten Tomatoes.
Now, here's the one that surprised me. Good Housekeeping had it at number 17.
You think that's too high for Good Housekeeping?
I was surprised Good Housekeeping had it in there.
They had it. Yeah, it's probably true.
Esquire
probably does.
Number 26.
I'm assuming.
Number 26.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Argue till your heart's content. I mean, this is what it is. But it was a fun
Die Hard's a great movie.
So
and I can watch it 100 million times. So I don't disagree with
you. And I talked about other Christmas shows. So what was one that
you did?
Give me a couple of yours.
So
that missed.
There's a couple that just didn't really. They wouldn't be also good children Christmas movies, but I find them incredibly hysterical. One is Bad Santa.
I do have statistics for that too, if you want.
You do? You have You have Bad Santa stats?
Rotten Tomatoes had it at number 35.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it gets better. Good Housekeeping had it at number 14.
Good old had that movie at 14.
Esquire had it at number 8.
Yeah. Oh,
very solid, God. But it is a great movie. I mean, it's
a great movie. It's a great
Billy
movie.
Bob.
So, Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie. The Night Before was also on my list, which is not I would say, the most popular Christmas movie.
I don't have the rankings.
But it's Seth Rogen.
I don't have the rankings in Rotten Tomatoes of Good Housekeeping, but it is in there. And on Esquire, it was number 51.
Yeah. Really? My God.
I did not know it was a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah. I mean,
Christmas is not in the title. So
I didn't say it had to be in the title, just mentioned in the movie.
But you know what? I did not realize it. But I look at all the actors that were in it. Oh my God. So I might actually watch it. I've never watched it.
You should watch it. You should watch it. Probably at Christmas morning. It'd be great. Open present, sit there with some hot chocolate with the kids. Put on The Night Before. Don't watch it with the kids. Whatever you do. Well, you could. I mean, our kids are adults, but so Die Hard was also on mine.
Good.
So
solid.
It was honorable mention. Trading Places, which is not also would be considered, I think, traditional Christmas movie. I don't think, but anyways,
love that movie. Fabulous.
Dan Aykroyd,
and it was Esquire's number 32. It wasn't on the other two.
Crazy,
which surprised me. Because that
does surprise me because it's not. I would say that's also very not traditional. Solid. And then Scrooge and Christmas Vacation were also on my list. So a lot of similarities between ours. For sure.
My two closest one were obviously Home Alone 1 and 2. They were very close to getting in there. Very.
I hate those movies.
Oh, really? Wow.
I hate those movies.
I mean, let's face it. Once you watch it the first time, you just want to fast forward it to where all the antics start happening because that's where it's really funny.
I know it is, and I can't say hate them. I'm not. They're not my
It's
favorite.
Me with Christmas.
So,
I mean, it's just
correct.
I mean, it's just that's why our top 5 bands were so different. I mean, we all have different.
If we were talking holiday movie, and I'm not talking like 4th of July, but I'm talking Thanksgiving to Christmas kind of holiday. That's to me. Holiday season. I know we have holidays throughout the year. We have Easter, we have, 4th of July, we have all that. But holiday movie, in my top 5 would have been Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Well, that was actually it. All
totally would. He's trying to get home for Thanksgiving. It's not Christmas, so I couldn't count it in this.
Surprisingly, it was in. It was one of them. I can't remember which one it was, but it was in the. Yeah,
it's not a
Christmas movie at all.
Not a Christmas movie at all. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of people always,
but it is a holiday.
A lot of people always
they associate Thanksgiving
with Christmas.
They do.
So, I mean,
great movie. By the way,
remember when stores used to have everything available for Christmas at Thanksgiving or after? Now it's October.
Well, now it's
Halloween.
Now it's out Halloween.
So
they got Halloween decorations. I swear to God, I was at Walmart. Halloween decorations and Christmas decorations were going up.
Yeah, these,
you know, I mean, it was crazy.
These top fives are, I love them. I want to continue.
They're just fun.
And
they're just fun to do. And yeah, I want to continue. What's next?
Well, why don't you tell us what?
Which is not next week. It's going to be after the New Year, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Thursday before Christmas or Thursday before New Year's Eve. So the 30th.
Thursday before New Year's Eve.
It'll be the 30th.
Right?
We'll have our next recording. Yep. It won't go out until Sunday probably, but
probably after New Year's. Yeah.
But definitely, we're not going to do one Christmas week. We're just not going to do it. So,
correct.
But Dale, what's
it's going to be the top 5. It's going to be top 5 sitcoms.
Phenomenal.
All right,
can't wait.
Top 5,
can't
great.
Wait.
Great. There's so many.
Something else I want to talk to you about too. We'll do it on here because people can hear it too. But something else that made me think of it too is I also eventually at some point in time I want to have a top 5 theme songs. Television theme songs.
Oh God, come and knock on my door.
Yeah, I mean, because
we've been waiting.
My number one is going to blow you away. I guarantee you.
Oh, but, I'm sure it will. I can't even
because I'm going through these top 5.
Probably
lists.
the Knight Rider theme song.
It's like the top 5.
It's going to have words. Can we establish before we do that one? Some
all
parameters.
Of mine has words.
You know.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to make sure because we didn't do that with bands, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, anybody who talks.
I'm just going on. I mean, I'm going on all these like top 5 bucket lists, things you want to do. You know, our bucket list, and top 5 books, which
they're endless.
Top 5 books, which I know your Cliff Notes are your.
my top 5 books will be exactly no list. Yeah. I think it'll be the Cliff Notes to Kill a Mockingbird. The Cliff Notes to Lord of the Flies, 0 Harry Potter books, and
see that's what I'm going to have to. I'm probably going to have to if we ever do books, I'm going to have to do series because because of the Harry Potter series is one of my favorite series. Lord of the Rings.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to vote that we do books never.
Okay,
but if we do, it will be very, very long.
It wouldn't be fun for you, so we won't do books.
It would be fun probably for people listening because you'd be quite surprised at the books I've read, and they would not make anybody's top 5 probably.
So all of. Out there, if you see us or something, tell us your top 5. Send us an email. Go on Facebook and say, "Hey, how about a top 5
Twitter,
this,
anything.
Top 5 that?"
Oh yeah, let us know.
I will say if you send us a list of top 5 soccer players, we won't do it. So I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah, and matter of fact, we'll probably we'll probably have you arrested. Or, we'll have to terrorize
we might
toilet paper.
We might block you from the show. I know.
Oh, that's it. Block.
No. Yeah. Actually, that's not true.
Twitter.
We don't believe in censorship.
Who cares?
We don't believe in censorship. We could have fun with that because, the top ones, but I don't care about them.
I mean, was it Beckham?
Pele was probably the most famous one, but
oh my God,
you got married. That Maradona or whatever, and
who?
Yeah,
there you have it.
So
soccer.
Yeah.
So your top 5 grass fairies are not going to be pretty much our favorite subject.
No, and but yeah, we these top 5s I think will be pretty fun. And this one, one wasn't. This was fun to do, but you and I didn't have a lot of argument going on.
Yeah,
with
it just wasn't going to be super controversial. I wouldn't think.
Sitcoms we could have some. We could have some little controversy there, maybe. We could.
Well, you played by the rules. That's why we had fun. I mean, you actually had Christmas movies, basically. I mean, last time you didn't.
Yes,
play
I
by
did.
rules.
Bands.
So that's why we have to establish.
Okay.
So sitcoms.
New Edition.
I don't think there's really any rules for sitcoms.
New Edition is a boy band. Boy band.
No, I mean,
band. Boy.
We're going to do this. I guess we're going to beat this to death. But they're just
boy.
They don't play a music. Okay, well, I guess then that's right. The baton twirler is now in the band. I mean, they're a band member. They get a full band scholarship to
my kids
play in the band.
My kids' alma mater, high school. They now my son was, of course, in marching band, but they now have a baton twirler in band now. I didn't know when that happened, but
no, but it's still a different. So the majorette is not a member of.
Of course, if you look at Alabama's marching band, they got a ton of baton twirlers in there, ton of them. And I got to be careful because I got a niece that is very good at baton, and she does that competition wise.
I'm not making fun of
yes,
baton
you are.
twirlers.
You're making fun of baton twirlers.
I'm making fun of the fact that you like boy bands better than an actual band that plays music. That's what you like. You're a boy band guy, which is weird.
Listen to New Edition.
Yeah, good luck finding it. I mean, I don't know. I asked Alexa, I'm like, can I hear New Edition? And it said, if you go to a gay bathhouse, yes, you can listen to New Edition. So that's what it said, Alexa, of all people.
So maybe that's why, maybe I should go if they play. If they play New Edition, I'll go.
That's right. Yeah. Did I even say their name wrong? Did I say Next Edition? I don't know what I said. New Direction?
No. Okay, let's move on.
Who are they? All right. Well, that's our top 5. Next time it's going to be top 5 sitcoms. I think we might have some similarities. I think there's going to be some differences. And my number 1, you probably would never guess. Not that it's not worthy of it.
As well as mine.
You just would never.
And wouldn't that be some if it's the same one?
Well, that'd be crazy. Yeah, because we never talked about this. So honestly, we have not. I mean, it's weird,
I've already got mine done. I'll have rankings next to them too. I'll have all that set up for you.
You will. Rankings according to Good Housekeeping? No, it's not Rotten Tomatoes, but
I can't remember that. But they did a countdown.
There's a list for
everything. Did a countdown a while back on the top 100 sitcoms. Yeah.
I feel sometimes that's how you base your rankings.
Because
people do.
Let me just tell you
follower than a leader.
Number 1 on a lot of people's lists is going to be I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Not going to be on my top 5.
Wait a second.
Not going to be on my top 5.
I
Don't badmouth it, because my mother-in-law and my wife love that show. So
what?
Don't make fun of it. Careful.
I'm not. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Yeah. I mean, great. I mean, fun at the time. It was fun. I mean, The Honeymooners is a great show. I mean, it's old.
Didn't make my top 5.
Jackie Gleason, didn't make my top 5. It
my top 5,
but great.
My top 5s are all within between 80 and now. So
yeah, exactly. Agreed. Mine too. Me too. Yeah, you
have some from the. You have some from the 80s.
I do.
Oh, I bet you we got the same one.
I don't know. I do. So you will see.
Awesome.
You will see.
Awesome. Okay.
What else do we want to talk about here? We want to get into our AOC.
I think we should.
Do you want to? I think we should.
Yep.
I think we should, and then we can just wrap it up from there.
Okay.
I think it's been a good show. You've been highly, somewhat professional today, which is good. So,
boom. We knew it was going to happen.
You're growing up.
We knew eventually it was going to happen.
I still am using I don't have I don't have a webcam. I don't look as good as you do. You're looking spectacular.
Beautiful.
I got blue. It's like a blue shirt, isn't it? You're wearing blue. Looks good on you there, buddy.
Black, dude.
It's a blue. That's not black. It looks blue. Your hat's black.
No,
your shirt's blue.
The shirt's black. Just kidding.
Blue.
Shirt's blue.
All right. Shirt. It's blue,
it's
right?
Shiny blue.
It is a shiny blue. And you're blurry again. Can you fix
Knock it off? I know I'm not blurry.
You
would have been complaining the whole time if I was blurry.
It just went blurry because your Wi-Fi can only last an hour or so before it starts
doing
diminishing.
Really well.
Is it? Yeah. Anyways, so AOC, or Big Schumer of the Week, which is our little segment we do to really celebrate some of the finer people in our country that really stand out, really look out for our best interests, really say some intelligent things, really just kind of they're just kind of the cream of the crop when it comes to
we look up to
Americans. Why would we not look up to them? That's full of shit. Anyways, you'll get the point. But do you want to go first? Is it an AOC?
No, you know what? I think I know who yours is. So let's do mine first because we'll talk a lot more about yours. Rook.
Okay.
I got a couple ones. Elizabeth Warren might have been with her comment about Elon Musk, but I still have to go back to the mayor of Chicago, Gordon Lightfoot, when she. It's actually Lori Lightfoot, folks, but I like Gordon Lightfoot better. I think he's been.
She is no Lori.
Gordon's more successful.
Yeah.
So,
I'd say.
But she actually, for all of these increase in crimes, deaths, murders, and all that stuff in her city, and theft, high theft of high dollar amounts, she's blaming the businesses. She just blames the businesses for the theft that's going on. They need better security. They need this. They need that. And this is one of the first ones that did the cut back on police. So, but anyway, she's my AOC of the week.
She's the AOC, and she's blaming the businesses
Lightfoot because she blames
they don't
again
have the
typical liberal.
They don't have
typical liberal. Somebody else's fault. So.
It's somebody else's fault. It's never their policies. It's
when,
never all those.
When the funny thing is,
top 12 cities in crime are all Democrat ran.
And the funny thing about it is, every time you look at it, it's not their, but it is their fault.
It's always their fault.
So
when someone tells you it's not their fault, generally it's their fault. You know, or somebody says, "Trust me," don't trust them.
Trust me.
So I say, like, you know, Jim, you look great.
First of all, Dale, I've known you long enough. I don't trust you.
What, like with anything, or just in general, like kind of I don't trust you kind of thing.
Because maybe I trust you with my life, but that's about it.
That's a good thing. See, so I'm that guy.
As you throw me in front of the bullet to save others, not you. You'll throw me in front of the bullet to save others.
I mean, you risk one to save many. I mean, that's the rule of engagement.
That's why you're my hero.
That's right. That's right. Anyways, and I mean, you're a stocky guy. I mean, a big guy. You could. There's a lot of bullets you could block. I meant, like big bone.
I get you.
I get you. Look good.
And
that's, you could say there's a lot of bullets you can take. That's all I'm saying. And probably not even penetrate your organs. So, I mean,
wow, we have to go there now.
Some people have built-in bulletproof vests. You're that guy.
I'm telling.
I know. Anyways, it's Christmas. I'll be honest. I'm not. I have a feeling I'm going to get a visit from 3 ghosts.
Well, after they've
showing me all this,
to be honest with you, after they're done visiting you, they'll come by my house too.
So anyways, mine's a big Schumer of the week. I mean, not dissimilar to an AOC of the week, other than it's a dude, and my dude is Leah Thomas. Leah sounds like a female name. Well, you'd think, but Leah Thomas, you'd think. But Leah Thomas is a swimmer at the University of Pennsylvania. Leah Thomas is a biological male who is transgender. I guess going through the process. Honest to God, I don't know what part of the process yet. Because it looks like a dude with long hair. That's all
what it is.
Built like a dude, biologically a dude. Regardless, smashing the women's swimming records, literally smashing them by half a minute or more. And so it's not the fact that this person, who's a dude, is smashing these records. To me, this person is a Schumer of the week because he doesn't care. He's like, oh, my coaches don't care. They're just happy with my performance.
He thinks it's okay doing what he's doing.
He thinks it's okay. And so also in turn, the University of Pennsylvania could be a big Schumer of the week because they're allowing this. And then the NCAA in general, I think, they're all sorts of messed up in general.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Yeah.
Back to Mr. Leah Thomas. It amazes me just his reaction to it and that he doesn't care. While his teammates are literally devastated. They've worked their entire lives. They're biological women who should be swimming against biological women who are not, because you have this dude who's just destroying them. They have no shot. And whether you like it or not, and whether you believe it or not, males outperform females in sports. If their levels are
the equal, top athletes, the top athletes,
I mean, there's a billion women golfers that can crush me,
right?
I mean, the whole LPGA is filled with women golfers.
Every female,
you get it.
Every female on the WNBA to the person sitting at the bench that never gets in could kick my ass in basketball.
Correct. So that's what I'm saying. So I mean, that's fine. I mean, they have that skill set and they're better. But if you were to take a biological male and put him on the LPGA, they would crush that person. They would crush them, out drive them, out perform them in every aspect. Same thing in the NBA. You know, if you put a biological male in the WNBA, you know, they're going to be 100 points a game. They're going to be dunking everywhere because they're 7 inches taller. They're, you know, whatever.
Absolutely.
So it just drives me nuts that the NCAA allows this. And it drives me nuts that this person, you know, have some respect for what you're doing. I mean, they're literally taking scholarships away from biological women. When they talk about women's sports, and, you know, I've never been a big champion on women's sport. I'm not against it. I just, you know, there's a call for it, and there's not a big draw in women's sports outside in the professional world as of yet, but it's never going to get that way now, because you're going to have males that are just transgenders that just want to go over to female sports and dominate 100% of the time.
And adding to that there's 10 parents or 10 swimmers whose parents have written a letter to the NCAA complaining
from the University of Pennsylvania,
complaining about this to the NCAA, complaining that this is not fair. This is not. And the point that I want to make on that is, I guarantee you, maybe at least 8, if not all 10 of these swimmers were okay with it. We're on board. That thought, oh, this was great. This was great. But you and I have been warning that this was going to happen. And when the males start beating the females, that's when this is like not fair. But so in my opinion, take it. I mean, this is what you guys asked for. This is exactly what's going to happen when we have the first transgender male playing WNBA basketball and just dominating the basketball. I mean, I don't want to hear it. It's your fault. You guys,
what you voted for. It's what you wanted.
It's one thing
what you wanted
to say, okay, we're going to accept this. It's one thing to say that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the other things that come with it. The ones where your great governor DeSantis was ripped apart for, because he does not allow high school a biological boy cannot compete in girls sports.
Correct.
He got drilled.
Does that not just make sense?
He got nailed on this stuff. Well, this is why. This is why.
This is why, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen continuously as long as they allow it to happen.
What happens if he makes the Olympic team? You took a spot from a woman.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I just think this
their whole life.
And it's what is it doing? It's pushing women back again, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to push them up. We're trying to, and because women are, let's face it, women are just as good as we are. They're just as, they're probably smarter than we are as a whole.
I'd say mostly.
And we want this. We want a woman, if she's just as qualified as a male, to get paid the same as what a male gets paid.
You want to tell me you sit there and you're going to watch the Olympics, who watches?
Well, I do watch swimming. I do enjoy swimming. So
yeah, some of that I do.
But if he's in it, I won't watch it.
Well, that's right. But who's going to watch? Who's going to want to watch that happen? Who's going to want to watch a male gymnast competing as a female against those, the female gymnastics
wearing those tights?
Well, first of all, nobody wants to see that. Second, you might, but most people don't want to see that. Nobody wants to. Yeah, I mean, I think that's. Oh, didn't your buddy want us to talk about also Michigan State? So speaking of Olympics and doctors,
no, I don't think he wants. I don't think he wants to talk about that.
It's a joke. Yeah. It's a joke. I don't know him. You brought it up to me. I don't know this person. But. Anyways, and if you don't know,
he happens to be married to our favorite listener.
Oh, geez. Okay. So I'm just pissing everybody off. Now we have no listener.
I have no problem with Michigan State. I have none.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, I don't want to say I have a problem with them at all. I mean, they're not.
He and I disagree on it because he's also he likes Notre Dame football too. He'll cheer for them when they're not.
Jeez, God. So. You need new friends.
No, actually, I think my friends probably feel that they need new friends. So I may be by myself after all this is said.
That's true. That's true. But anyways, Mr. Leah Thomas is my big Schumer of the week.
Should not be allowed.
That's all I have for that. Should not be allowed to, and it's a travesty, and it's actually embarrassing, and it's hurtful to women. The women move. The woman
you reap what you sow, folks.
Reap what you sow. You vote for that stuff. You want all that crap. This is what
we
you
knew
get.
this was going to happen.
So good luck to you.
We knew this was going to happen. So there you go.
Anybody with a half a brain knew it was going to happen.
We're talking liberals, so
that's. Well, you're right about that. They probably still don't know what's happening. Probably like, well, I mean, she looks kind of manly, but she's probably big boned. You know, that's all. She's a big girl. You know, yeah, I'd say she's a big girl.
All girls have bulges down there. I don't.
All girls do. Yeah, all girls do. Yeah, boy, looks like she's got nuts. Well, you know why? She's a he.
That was a good one.
Anyway, I think we kind of covered some stuff. Yeah. I don't know if anybody learned anything as usual.
I don't. You know, you can learn whatever you want, but
you can learn what you want. You can do your own research.
Because what we do talk about, we do research. By the way,
we do.
I said, the stories that I like, the stories that I go out and look at, I go out to also see if they're also on the other sites, and most of the time they're not. So they're still stuck on Trump. They can't get over Donald Trump. So.
Oh, they can't. Yeah. They can't. Well, as long as they keep Trump alive and MSNBC alive, the world. So
MSNBC even had a story, and I should have read it because it was interesting. Mm-hmm. They even had something about Ronald Reagan. So, and if they start insulting Ronald Reagan, then I'm really gonna have a problem.
Oh, that's it. And then it's war. And it's war. Yeah. At that point, it's war. There's a couple people, you know. So you got, to me, there's Ronald Reagan, there's Rush Limbaugh, and I don't care. You don't. I mean, start arguing with me about them. There's going to be fights. I'm telling you. That's, those are two people that I just, they're off limits to me. I mean, if you want to badmouth them, please do. I'd be happy to debate you because you're going to lose. Yep. You're definitely going to lose.
For me, you had Bill Clinton to that. I almost got through that without laughing. Damn it!
It almost gets through.
And his husband,
Reagan, Limbaugh, Clinton,
and his husband,
That's very homophobic.
I'm sorry. That was
or something. You were. So, but anyways, we're not going to have a show. Well, we will not next week. Well, wait.
Next week.
Will we next week? I guess there will be end of the week. Right? It probably won't go.
The week between Christmas and New Year's, there'll be another show.
New Year's, yeah. So, but we will have one, and we won't be talking until then, probably, because you're going to be busy. I'm going to be busy. I'm sure we're not going to have a lot of conversations. So, I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.
I wish you and your wonderful family Merry Christmas as well.
And we do know each other's families quite well. Yeah. So, they're good. They're all good people. Yeah, they are. They are. And matter of fact, I think some of your family likes me more. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's true. I just feel that is true.
Only incorrect term was some. They all do.
Jim. That's terrible.
I mean, Kara.
They couldn't live without you, buddy. They couldn't live without you.
I just said it. My daughter asked me if it would be inappropriate to have you walk her down the aisle when she gets married.
I don't think so at all. I don't think so. I mean, I was there at her birth, so why would
she didn't really? She didn't really say that, listeners. But I also said her name, so again, I apologize. I that's twice now. I've been.
Yeah, I was there. I know.
First
you're
my
terrible.
wife, then my daughter. So, oh wow.
You're just gonna get them all killed.
No, they're not gonna get killed. I mean, heck, my daughter's one of our best. I mean, she's always sharing our stuff.
I know, and which we appreciate dearly. We need more advocates. Yep. She could be our producer. We just can't afford it.
All you got to do is share. For all you listening on Facebook, or just share.
All you got to do is share it.
Or send a link. Forward the link to people.
That's right.
And I know,
that's all you got to do. Simple.
I'm going to be discussing this soon with family. I've got a couple family members that obviously don't agree with my comments, but
sure. Yeah,
I'll send them my link.
Yep, absolutely. They can. We're not looking
just
for
like just like when I want
for people to discuss.
Just like when I want to have all the the ones on the liberal left and stuff, and read the stories of the Tim Scotts of the world. Nah, we don't want to read that.
That's right.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem.
Conversation over, right? I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. So, but we'd rather read the story about how Barack Obama was groomed It never had to work for anything. Grew him to be what he became. But that's, we don't want to discuss that. It wasn't.
Well, he didn't even have to show up to like votes.
Wasn't even the hard work at all. It was just.
He didn't even put the hard work in. But anyways, good show, Jim. I appreciate your time again. Good topics, good research on the movies and their rankings. Top notch.
I got to add something to the show.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice if you would every now and then. But anyways, good show. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Again. And everybody out there. And we'll see you guys in about a week, right?
Salute.
All right. Sounds good. Top 5 sitcoms coming next. So just, stay tuned.
And send them to us if you later,
guys. Please do. All the links will be there. You'll see them scroll across the screen. However you want to reach out to us, reach out to us. Okay. Happy to do it.
Perfect.
So see you later, my friend.
Bye.